All right, we're live, but our mics aren't muted, so they
We're
can hear
live
us.
because
They can still hear us right now, so don't say nothing.
Carlos is missing the time.
Cuckoo. See the
Because
cuckoo?
Wait,
I got the
is it going to
bootleg
blow up?
timer.
He gets
Wait,
caught up in
in 35 seconds, is it going to blow up?
Yeah.
yeah, it will pop up.
Yep. That's funny.
Carlos gets on a cheese
We
magic.
couldn't afford music, so we're just all talking until the time goes
La
down.
la 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 la
Oh,
la.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
La 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 la
There
la.
you go. There's
Was that a
the
dog?
there. Go ahead, hit the high note.
Allá en el Rancho Grande, allá
Like a dog
donde
got hit.
vivía.
There
Oh,
you
shoot.
go. See, I can vibe with all you guys. You guys sing. All right.
Hey, here we go. Hey, welcome to another Stay Brown podcast. Look at check out the crew. Introduce yourself, everybody.
I am Arlene Castro. I am captain of the IE chapter of Brown Berets National Organization.
There you
Baby.
go.
Hola, mi gente.
Yeah.
Like you
Uh,
don't know already, and Andy Campos. I'm captain here in the Bakersfield chapter, Central California. Eso.
yeah. Al Osorio, Oakland, a Capitan of Oakland, of the entire city, you know? No, Capitan of the Oakland Brown Beret unit.
Oakland, town business. Shout out to
Oakland.
Oakland.
Down
And
different.
then we got Carlos Aguilar, better known as Carlos Tacos. I'm the captain of Northern Cal. So thank you all for tuning in. Man, what did you finish your menudo, Andy?
Shoot, I still got a pot to work on. You guys are all invited. Come over.
Yeah, shoot.
I got a pot to work
Yum.
on. Like I gotta take it slow. You know, I already had like 2 yesterday. I got another one today. It's gonna be all day. Plus the
Yeah.
mileage I gotta start working on.
Nice,
Oh.
nice. So
Quality.
Al, you guys were busy today, huh?
Yeah.
Would you guys you had an outreach today? What's going on out there in the town?
What we do is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have a hookup for coats through AIM. And it was always tough to give away coats, though. You go to the malls, go to the strip malls, go to the parks, and you wouldn't get the amount of people you like until we hit on the idea of going to grocery giveaways. And now you already got people lined up for food, so then they come by and they see the coats, and so it's worked well. We go to 36th and International or 61st and Adeline and Tuesdays, and then Thursdays we go to Fruitvale, or sometimes we're going to be going to Little Bobby Hutton Park. So it works out good.
Nice. And that's every Tuesdays and Thursdays out there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. If anybody out there in the town or close by to Oakland needed some help or anything or more information, how could they get a hold of you?
They could use my Instagram or our Instagram, one word, 510 National Brown Berets.
There you go. Okay. Andy, what do we got going on?
Man, so we got a couple things going on. We have our Dia de los Reyes Magos coming up in January 3rd. Those for you out there, we're gonna have jumpers, we're gonna have food, we're gonna have clothes, we're gonna have toys, we're gonna have that the ¿cómo se llama? The pan. That's gonna do that.
What kind of
we're
pan? The pan de muerto?
No.
Rosca de
The
Reyes.
rosca,
Now.
the rosca. I was like, why is it? I couldn't remember. We don't do that here, but
Yeah.
they're gonna do the rosca there, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Eric's bringing out a big jolly jumper for the kids. We're gonna have a DJ.
Nice.
Pachango's gonna be out and come out and bless us with the performance. So, it's gonna be a good time. A good time.
Man,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Arlene, are you going?
Not this time. I'm not gonna travel until probably after February. Right now, I'm taking the time to just focus on my education. I signed up for school, so I got to take classes that whole week. I got to go do that with school, and then I have some event with Metra that we're doing as well in my community in San Bernardino. And then I'm planning the Child's ICE Detention Center in San Diego. We're planning to go over there sometime in March, I believe. Me and Edward we're still working on that. And then we got a Cinco de Mayo event that we're planning out here in the IE as well. So just working on future events and supporting whatever comes up. But yeah, I was like, I'm not going to travel till a little after February. I got a few things going on right now.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Just supporting everybody else, but
And what's your goal for your
Staying busy.
yeah, I know. Right now, I just want to take English and literature, Chicano studies, Native American studies, because my dream one day is to write a book. I want to write a book, so I want to get familiarized. I want to familiarize myself on how to write a book, what I need to do to write a book. I got a lot of things that I need to learn and educate myself with on that, but that's my goal. And one day, hopefully, I do have a book out there. So I gotta just get on it, get the ball rolling.
And then we'll have an author right there in the book club.
That's beautiful.
Right?
Read this the first chapter.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Going back to school is difficult,
Yeah, it is. It really is. No.
Well,
But
my daughter
wanna
went back to
educate
school.
it, so- Did she?
Yeah, that's true.
What is your daughter
true.
going to school for?
They're scared of educated Chicanos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, she wants to do social work, and she wants to be able to help women who are maybe drug issues, maybe violence issues, or they've been inmates. And in order to do that, she has to have a degree in criminal justice. And so she has to, a lot of her classes, she's surrounded by pigs or potential pigs, which is difficult, but she's coping. And right now she's interning at a program at Santa Rosa County Jail. And they do a thing where for the inmates, they can read to their kids. So she sets up a video camera. They choose a book and they can read to it and show it to their kid. And then they have what do you call it? Those thumb drive things, so they can send it to their family and spend some time with their kids.
Well, I love that. That's awesome.
You gotta be strong though.
Yeah.
Being a social worker is not for no, because you're gonna be seeing something.
Yeah.
So good on her though. Good on her. Yeah, tell her, hey, we got her.
I'm proud. That's why I'm boasting. I wanted to talk about it because I'm proud of her.
Yeah, of course. That's something to be very proud of. Yeah. When it comes to females, any educated woman just amazes me, and I love that. I want all the women to be educated and be able to do things. A lot of times we're held back. We're held back from society, from men. From our husbands and stuff. And I don't want that for my daughters. I want them to have an education first, and I want them to know that they're going to be they could be free. They don't have to be a housewife or just go work at a warehouse. There's more to offer than that, and
Yes.
I love that. I love my daughter too. She's majoring in political science and Chicano studies, and hopefully she'll be the next Jasmine Crockett out there, So I want my baby out there. I want her pushing for us, and I want that's what I want. So I love it. I love the girls when they're going back to school and doing something with their lives.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Right.
exactly. Always want more.
I'm even going back to school. I'm gonna take up journalism.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You already got experience with the podcast. You got this already.
I know, right? Like,
It's just getting that paper saying I can do it.
yeah. I just feel like that there's a lot of there's always room for improvement, you know.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I want to make sure I do it the right way, not like my way.
Right, right. That's what I be thinking too. Like, man,
Yeah.
as much as you want to do things, but it's like, you got to get, you got to get this, this, and that.
I'm
Yeah.
stubborn. I don't know. I have that bad because I get stubborn. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it my way because I know it's right.
True.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. So anyway, that's looks like we're all doing pretty good. I know we're all excited about the events coming up and the future events that are going to be coming up.
Mhm.
I can't wait. I know we out here we have a continual on. It's funny because Captain Al's every Tuesday and Thursday, and then every Wednesday over here where I'm at in the East Bay, Antioch, Pittsburgh, we have where the we all come together with our clothes at a certain place where they feed the homeless, and they all know every Wednesday that he's there, you know, and he comes, and then I put out the word, you know, on Facebook, and then I have a bunch of people come and drop off clothes, and then I got clothes too, and you know, it really helps out, especially right now. These guys are freezing out here, you know. I don't know if you guys,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yes.
cold
Yes.
back east, but we ain't used to this cold. Y'all are.
You guys are cold?
No, it's cold. Like in the central,
Really?
because
Mhm.
of that fog. It's been when
I'm
it
in
hit the
80
valley.
degree weather.
Oh, shut up.
I'm
You're
literally wearing
rubbing in.
shorts. I've been wearing shorts all
right
week.
now.
I'm in
Oh,
chanclas and shorts.
oh my God.
I'm gonna have to go
Oh,
steal you. I'm gonna have to go pick you up, and I'm like, come on, let's see
I
it.
know.
Forget how the weather. I thought because we're all in Cali, I'm like, I'm assuming we got all that nice, that weather. You guys just,
No, we got this fog right now. It's
Yeah,
that
we got
fog
the
season.
fog.
yeah.
The bay gets foggy a lot, you know. So mostly
Yeah.
in the city, San Francisco, you know, they're used to it all the time foggy, but when it gets out here, you know, it's foggy. Sometimes you can't even see driving.
Mhm.
Crazy.
I remember I got lost in the fog. I was
Well,
like, I know where I'm at. I ain't lost, and then I got lost. But
I remember
yeah,
that thick fog.
we
Yeah.
talk about
I
I
have
was
to count my
born in
toes in the morning.
Montclair.
yeah. Oh my God.
That thick fog be crazy, bro. I was born in Montclair, but I was actually raised in Clovis, California,
Um,
until I was like 10 years old. So I do remember. Yeah, if you guys don't know where Clovis is at, it's right next to Fresno.
yeah.
But I remember that fog, the thick fog where when you're driving, you can't see. I remember that, especially during around Christmas time. That's why I was like, dang, I don't want to drive Bakersfield through the Grapevine. I'm gonna get stuck over there. Then I'm not gonna be able to come home. Like,
It's scary.
yeah, it's scary. And then
They
for me to
call it
drive by
like
myself,
Thule fog.
Mhm. Wait, I had
TikTok's trying to make it they're calling it the
Scary.
radioactive fog. And I was like, it's just fog. It's always
It's-
been this fog.
it's just been a
I'm
long
like,
time.
oh my God,
Yeah,
radioactive
it's just
fog.
been a long time
Okay.
since it's been like this for this long. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I grew up in Southern California, and we're beach, bums. We don't have that kind of like fog. But like when I moved up here, yeah, it's different in the winter. Like it hits different, but it hasn't been this thick and this long in a long time. So everyone's
Yeah.
crying about it, but it's fine.
Yeah. I'm
It's
seeing
cold.
people saying, oh, I miss the sun.
Yeah.
I'm all depressed now.
Oh no,
I'm
it's
like, oh wow. I guess
well, I
it's
have the
different though. Go ahead.
spooky vibes for me. So I'm like, that was cool. Where's Michael Myers at?
Yeah. For me, when it's cloudy, because I'm a content creator, this is actually the best time for video. If you're gonna do photography or video,
Mhm.
this is the time right here. You know, because the clouds act as a softener. What do they call it? Oh my God. When you cover
filter?
your light, a softbox, like when you cover a light, that a diffuser. There you
For
go.
me,
Yeah, it diffuses the light, which you take better pictures. So I like it. Shoot, it doesn't bother me. Where you're at, Al, Yeah, when you're in the town, it's probably even foggier over there, huh? Because you're right by the water.
I have to count my toes, you know. I count my toes in the morning to make sure I didn't lose any to frostbite during the night.
Oh
So
heck,
far, I've
Yeah.
still got 10.
do you? He's good. He still has 11.
It's cold. Man.
Te manda los calcetines, what is it, the thermal ones with the little fuzzies in it?
Hmm.
Or
Let's
the
do a care
Yeah.
package.
Yeah.
wool
Yeah.
socks. Gotta wear those wool socks.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, for everybody that tuned in, I know I said on the Instagram that we were gonna have Mr. Richard Soto on the show tonight, you know, and he had called earlier and said that he had no power, you know, over at his business, the Chicano Research Center in Stockton. So he was trying to figure out what's going on because he has a 3-story building. For you guys that don't know who he is, he has one of the biggest collection of Chicano books in the world. And it's funny because we talk about it all the time. He tells me, guess who called me again today? And I was like, who? He goes, the Library of Congress. They keep asking me for the magazines and the books that I have that they don't have.
Chale, tamale.
Right?
Wow.
I was like, don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. Because, I mean, and he keeps, have you been there, Al?
Not yet. I've been meaning to go because you told me all about it, and I would love to go through
That's a road
the
trip.
records he has there, buy some books.
Somebody donated 95 files of the FBI when they were investigating the Brown Berets in the 70s and all the way up to the early 80s.
Wow.
He has 95 boxes.
Wow.
I think it was a professor from Berkeley or something that had gave him some of those.
Yeah.
files. I
I
saw
was
that.
like, man. Oh, you studied up on him, huh?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. I was like, I love to do research, man. That's what I was gonna ask him. Like, how do you become to do what you're doing? Because
Yeah, no, I had questions written down también. I was ready. I was
yeah,
Next
You
time,
know,
I'll have to get 'em.
I can partly answer that for you because he's like an uncle to me. So like he wants me to start doing what he's doing over here where I'm at. So he's always not making me, but I love it. I got a ton of books. And he'll tell you, man, you go to the library, you go to the Pulga, you go to you go down to the Segunda, because that's where you're gonna find, you know, all the books, you know. So let me translate: the flea market or swap meet or the secondhand store. So and then just spreading the word out there. I mean, everybody knows he's getting phone calls all the time. He's always somewhere, you know, and he's always picking up books. I'm just driving back, you know. I was like, man, he's 72. You know, I mean, I don't know where he gets his energy from, but
but think about it. There's only a few like him, you know,
Yeah.
that are doing that. There's people in Arizona too as well, because in 2010 a law was passed in Arizona banning Mexican American studies. So they took everything out of their classrooms and everything, and these people have a storage unit saving all the books, you know. And it's sad. It's sad to see that we can't even study our own, you know, our own people, our own history, our real American history, you know.
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
it's a shame. It's a shame, but you know, without them, we wouldn't have that. And if we don't take over, yeah, our youth is going to lose that. So it's our responsibility to keep that going. You know, we know what's going on. We gotta get, you know, we gotta take over, like how he's trying to teach you. That's our responsibility to preserve that, you know, for our children. And I strongly, you know, like urge people to get into that and start doing their own research. And like me, I always wanted to be a researcher too, an historian. I've always was amazed with like historians, and I want to go be a nerd like them, you know. I'm like, how can I be a nerd like you? Like, you know, I don't know yet, but I'll get there. But We definitely have to preserve, you know,
Mhm.
our stuff.
Yeah. No, Stephanie, you're 100%.
Tienen miedo de la ñata, you know.
Yeah, one day we might not have internet. We're losing everything. You know, we might not have internet if we don't learn how to cook and hunt and you know our history by our heart and minds. Like, you know, we're not going to be able to Google that shit. You know, we have to preserve our shit. Like me, I'm even writing, and I have a journal, and it's my cookbook recipes written down because if we lose the internet one day, I want to be able to make sure like my great grandkids fucking know how to make tortillas and know how to make, you know, like enchiladas and all this chile and chile verde and, you know, everything. Because if we don't know how to do it by, like I said, by heart, by mind, and we forget, because as we live in America, our kids get Americanized and they don't care about our heritage because they're so Americanized. We're going to lose it. We're going to lose our culture if we don't hang on to it and teach our youth to respect it and value it and cherish it. You know, so we got to keep it going. We got to keep it going, or we're definitely gonna lose it. Like we've already lost a lot of things, as you guys all know. So it's our responsibility. You know, it's us. We woke up. You know, so it's us to spread the word and keep talking about it.
Right. Well, the good news is we survived for hundreds and thousands of years before the internet, and we'll survive after if it ever ends too, because that's just who we are.
Yeah, we've been surviving this whole time, but you
What
know,
do you think, Captain Al?
You know, well, I was going to say that the thing is, Gauchos call this, when you tell the truth, when you tell history, they call it hate speech. You know, they say like, what's that CRT, critical race thinking, which tells about the truth about how our land was stolen, about the truth of slavery. And they say, well, that's hate speech. We need to forget about that and just live the present. But we think, well, no, we're on the bottom still. We continue to be on the bottom. And then they try to pretend like, oh, no, it's, you know, they passed that legislation, so there's no more racism back, 1965 or something like that. But yet in the meantime, even the ones who kind of occasionally speak a little bit of the truth, they're good with our people being beaten, being kidnapped. You know,
right.
We have to understand that we can't ask them for help because they will never help us.
Nope.
We can never. Don't vote Democrat. You know, Democrats are the same trash as the Republicans.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And we do that because it's for their convenience. For their convenience, we stay silent. For their convenience, we Americanize ourselves and allow ourselves to colonize, you know, our children. And, you know, we allow it, but no more. I don't allow that no more, and I'm not gonna allow it anymore. And I'm gonna wake up people, and I'm gonna continue to do that because I'm tired of being silent for their convenience. What about my convenience? I want to learn about myself. I want to be proud about myself and my people. F their convenience. The truth needs to be told, and people need to learn it. And it is what it is. You know, we need to see it like it is what it is. But we're not going to heal until we get that closure of them accepting us. You know, and it doesn't seem like they're going to accept us anytime soon.
No.
So we got to continue that fight. But that's why we have to educate ourselves as well, because we cannot be just talking out of our ASS and not, you know, doing anything about it. We have to be prepared for it. You know, so I don't know, but I don't care about their convenience anymore. It's about our convenience and our children's convenience.
That's
100, right. You're on it 100%.
No.
100%. Because I mean, it's funny. I trip out because a lot of our, like, I'm first generation. Okay, so my dad's straight from Mexico over here, and I'm one of the first. And then just thinking about the current situation that are going on, people getting ramifications for just speaking Spanish nowadays. Back in the day, they would tell us not to speak Spanish, and then give us a hard time for
Mhm.
being ourselves,
Yeah.
being celebrating ourselves. We still get that to this day.
Yep.
And they want to say that racism's dead, that these things are old, and then we only bring it up on ourselves. And I'm like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Like, there's a lot of people just, they're, what's that old saying? They only see, what they want to see. They have blinders on.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and we are, the work that we're putting out there, the things that we're doing are just exposing those realities to people. Like, it's not us walking around with blinders. We see everything,
Right.
and
Yes.
we just got to continue what we're doing. Especially like with the events that we're doing. I did some research, and gracias a Anthony and Brianna, here in Bakersfield, it hasn't been since the early 80s that we actually had like a Black Panther unit present in Bakersfield, because Bakersfield has a bad history of the KKK, and they're still here, Proud Boys and things like that. So we want to change that up and show these kids, like, hey, this is not our history, what they're teaching you in school, what they're trying to force upon you. Bakersfield has the lowest education bar in California. Lowest. Just as far as their dropout rate is super high. And that's something that I want to strive and work on here in my community, because it's so bad. And people are so undereducated. So just like you were saying, Arlene, about, we got to push that here. I mean, definitely something that needs to be said and addressed for all of us.
Right. Too many people get comfortable, man. And and it's sad to say, but sometimes the worst people is our own people when it comes to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know Spanish. I'm fourth generation. I don't know Spanish. My parents barely knew Spanish. My grandparents knew Spanish, but nobody taught us, because my grandparents got hit in elementary schools. My grandparents were in segregated elementary schools in Ontario, California, and Sanger, California. So when my grandparents told me they were in segregated elementaries, you know how that, as a kid, when they told me that, I was like, wow, why? Because we were brown. I couldn't, and as a kid, I'm a child. I'm like, but why? Like, we're brown, okay, but why? What does that matter? Because I also grew up Christian. I was raised Christian with my grandparents, and I just thought, like, well, damn, doesn't God love everyone? Doesn't the Creator love everyone? Like, aren't we supposed to love one another and each other? And so I couldn't understand why, that they, and then the more and more I saw, my grandmother told me that, her neighbors were Japanese. And at that time they were rounding up Japanese people, the concentration camp. And my grandmother said they rounded up her neighbors. She never saw them again. And they were farm owners. They had farm land and everything. She said, I never saw my friend ever again. Kid, and I'm like, damn, can you imagine? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's traumatizing. Like, I don't know how my grandmother felt, really felt about that.
And we're seeing that now, though.
Yeah,
You've seen families getting torn apart. And it makes you think, like, how people handled things back in that time, and we're reliving that today.
Yeah. Seeing a lot of people.
We were segregated.
Go ahead, Al.
When in East LA, I mean, they did, like, in the South, Black people weren't allowed to live in white areas, right? It was kind of like a hard line. But here it was, I forget what they called it, redlining or something, but like they wouldn't sell to us. So that's why they kept us all there in East LA. And the funny thing is, you had said, Arlene, how you didn't really speak Spanish because I barely spoke it as a kid, but I had kind of an East LA accent. So, I guess, I learned English from people who spoke it as a second language. So we briefly moved out of East LA for work or something. I was a little kid, and in a white school, they put me in a special class for the kids who were disabled, speech defects, or stuff like that. And until after a while, a lady realized he speaks English, he's speaking English, he just has an accent. So, then, but it made me feel like I was so different that I had got taken out of the class and put with, I hate to say this, I don't mean this in a bad way, what they saw as misfits,
Right.
and I was one of them because I was brown in my mind,
Right.
meaning once I got back to LA, I was okay. But there was segregation. You didn't see Chicanos in the non-Chicano areas.
Right.
Yeah.
Just only in the Chicano area. See, and that's when you have that passed down generation to generation. It's a lot of trauma in our Chicano generation. Like that's why we're Chicano, because we've been here. I've been here I'm the fourth generation. I've seen and I feel my family struggles, and it's that's why it's like enough's enough, like I can't take it no more. So I'm just popping off everywhere everything and anything I could do, I'm there and I'm just trying, um,
So you're
but
the spirit from your ancestors because
yeah,
you seen it from day one, from your perspective, you seen it all throughout. You hear their stories from those 3 generations ahead of you that
right.
with their struggle. So now you're that fire, that animal that needs to be put out there. You're the speaker, the chain breaker to
That's
get
how
out
I
there.
feel.
And not on my watch, not today.
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel, and I can't stop. Like it's like I'm on fire. Like I can't stop.
Esa está
You know,
bien. That's good.
people tell me all the time, like, "How do you do it?" Like sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like sometimes I'm just talking out of my mouth, but it's like it's something in me that it's a fire, and not only that, our creator. Like I I'm blessed. I'm blessed. That's how I see it. Like I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I could go and do things and talk to people. It all comes out. But then I think about it. I'm like, God, I know that was you, God. I know that was you. 'Cause I don't know what I just said, but it made sense, So I, it's it's
It's
crazy.
okay, mija. It's just like you carry those frustrations. Like, have you seen Mi Familia?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh
Okay,
yeah,
so, he was the last one. He was the little boy, but he carried everything that his family went through, and that's you, mija. I
true,
get
true.
like the way you're talking and the way you're expressing yourself. That's you. Your family has gone through all these struggles, and they went through these things so you have a better future for yourself, for your daughter, for her family, and so on and forth. And you're that fire, that, like I said, that chain breaker. Vámonos, we're gonna stop all this. It
Yes,
stops you, and then you're the one
exactly.
be carrying on. That's something we have to be those people in our family, because like when I was growing up también, I remember seeing some stuff. I mean, I was small, but I understood. We went to a car show. My mom was part of a car club, but we went to a car show, and her friend was like, we could go take pictures in the car and whatever. And this man, and mind you, this is an older man already. Like he's already older. Um, was calling us wetbacks. He's like, "Hey, you wetbacks, what are you doing on that vehicle? Get out of that car. You guys think you can do whatever. Go back where you came from." And I was small, but I understood like what that meant. And I
Right.
just looked at my mom, and she was like, "Oh, not today, not today." And she went off. My mom was an activist también, and she was like, "No." And the at the time, the fire department chief heard everything. He came out. He's just escorted that guy out. But I mean, it's it's something like when you go through that,
Yeah,
and you see all that as a child growing up, you see these things that are being done. And so when you're older in this position, you feel like, I'm not sure if you feel that way, Mija, but like You're like the mama bear.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna happen to my kids, none of my Metra kids. It's gonna stop with me. And if anyone's gonna say anything, they're gonna have to come to me. So
Right.
that's how I feel when I see things going on. I'm like, I was like, nope, because I'll put on my checklist real quick and I'm out there.
Right.
Right.
And then some of us don't experience, so a lot of us or many others don't experience that racism. I experienced racism, that racism, like how Al said in elementary school. When I was a kid, I went to an all white school in Clovis, California, and I could count the Mexicans on my hands that went to the whole entire school, no black kids, no Asian kids. So I was left out. I grew up idolizing white people. I grew up seeing a bunch of white shows on TV. I didn't see no Mexican dolls. There was no brown haired Barbie when I was a kid. The TV shows were black and white, when we were kids. Obviously, Andy, you're like the same age as me, so and and I hated that. I hated that. Al, you could say the same thing, but there was a few shows back in your days, maybe. But what the Mexicans were always the robbers, the guys in prison, the mechanics.
The cowboy and Indian movies.
Yeah.
The Indians were always
the bad guys.
people.
Yeah, we never had nothing to look up to. That's why they kept us the way we are. That's why do we have a lot of inmates? The high rates in prisons and stuff like that. That was designed. We all know that as well. And it just sucks. It just sucks. Everything just it's a lot. It's a lot to take in But
the Cholo movies, that made everybody feel like some kind of pride, American, all that stuff. Like, I was like, but that's not.
Cheech and Chong. I was like, Mexican American. I was like, all right, I could do that. I was like, I could do that. Cheech Marie. Once he came out, yeah.
Yeah, I like Blood In, Blood Out.
Blood In, Blood Out was a good one. Blood In, Blood Out. American Me is probably like my movie. I like American Me.
Yeah, American Me was it was good, but it was controversial because, you had to get permission from certain parties before you make a movie like that. And well, I won't go into that. If you want to see that, Danny Trejo talks about that.
That's when it's going up the rank. But those kind of movies, those were the ones that made you feel like some kind of way, right?
Yeah.
And depending on how you took those movies, you lived a certain lifestyle. I know, because that you think that's the way you should get respect, and that's the way you build on something and make something in your community. And that's why we have all these little cholillos and gangs and things like that, because they're trying to better their situation, or they feel that's what they're stuck in. They can't see out the window and see if there's something else going on that they can do to take care of their communities, to take care of their family, right? And so we got to get our kids out of that. Like, look, you may be where you're at this moment, and you feel like, because everything's against you, the gang is what is going to take you out of that, but it's just going to get worse. You're going to end up in the system. The system's already designed to put you down.
Yeah.
They have that pathway from school to a jail, and you don't want to go down that route. So all these movies back in the day, like I remember, because I'm sure me and Arlene, we grew up in the 90s.
Yeah.
The way, so
I was like, oh shit, that's a bad movie.
That was our thing.
Yeah.
But now we're a little older, we're a little wiser. We see that route from school to the prison cell.
Right.
And these movies, they kind of push that narrative. We guys tell our kids, those are movies though. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we know that in real life it does happen, but we got to be smart enough and be able to change our situation, flip the script.
Well, a lot of times too, people think we gotta change 100. Like we gotta change just because we go get educated and stuff. Like we gotta change everything about us. Nah, shit. When I was working in the office, I was still bumping Tupac, driving in when I'm parking. I'm still hood, clocking in. I'm working in the office with all these nerds, but I'm me, and I'll never change. Nah, and educated or not, I'm me, and you don't like it, oh well,
right?
can do my job better than you. But,
Yeah, but yeah, it's just that's the thing that I want to like tell the kids because I went through that route. You know, I lived that crazy life and whatnot, but it was just because of circumstances and situations, right?
yeah.
And we all got to see that, like growing.
Yeah.
We got
But you
to,
know what? That's a part of all of us. We all pretty much grew up like that. You know, whether we were involved or not, we lived there. We lived in those areas and neighborhoods. So that's always going to be a part of us. And we should always cherish that too, because without that negative and the bad things happening around us, we wouldn't be so strong now. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's why, like, I'm thankful. Like, I've been to parties, shootouts. Like, I've seen some things, and it's just, it helped me now, though. Like you said, all back in the days, it was good. It was cool. It was fun, at the time. But now, obviously, yeah, there's a lot better and bigger things to do at our age.
yeah,
So, but it was definitely relatable at the time, and I was proud of that. Now I want good movies and something good to look forward to in the future that's more positive. But we don't have to change. We don't have to all be nerdy. You know what I mean? We could all be us, but change and be positive. You know?
yeah. I was just like more focusing on like the fact that because it was so heavily integrated, that we can do better.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
definitely
like,
can be better.
we did what we did, and those situations are what they are. But for those who don't want to go that path, and they didn't ask to be in that situation. There's a
Mhm.
lot of people that go through that because of circumstances, because of family issues or whatever. Just being that pillar in your communities, just to say like, hey, sabes que, I understand what you're going through, and this is how it worked out for me. But
Right,
these are resources that we have for you. Like being that person that someone can go to and be like, hey, I got this going on. And, being that person that they can just reach out to and say, I had enough. What can
right.
and being that, just like I was a daughter being a social worker, you're a social worker in that sense, without the degree. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, true. Mhm. They keep whenever they get us concentrated together, though they can't leave well enough alone. Like when they were stealing the natives' land here, right? They would take some and take some more, and then natives would fight, but then they would move back, and eventually they had to take everything. And when we're concentrated, when there's a neighborhood that's all Chicano or that's all black, they gentrify, they drive you out. And the way it is when we're there among our own people, it's a better life for everybody because the kids are safe, the kids are protected. If Mrs. Sanchez's son Julio is acting up, Mrs. Rodriguez will say, Julio, calm down. We looked out for each other. But when they gentrify, then you're scattered. So you go into a neighborhood, there's a lot of white people around. Nobody's watching your kid, or they think your kid's a thug.
Right.
And it's even when we do concentrate, maybe say in Pittsburgh or Antioch or other places, they still got to drive us out again, gentrify us and steal our homes again.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish I had an answer. I wish I could. All I can say is be conscious. Just educate yourself. Be ready to fight. Stand up, but organize raza. Like we're all doing here, but we need to do it on a bigger scale. More people.
Yeah. Eso sí, I mean, back in the day, sure, I couldn't do nothing without my mom finding out before I hit that door. Before I even got to the front door, sure, he knew everything I did throughout the whole day. And this was before cell phones, before all that. Sure, he knew before I hit that door. She's all, oh, you're hanging out with the little cholios at the court. I'm like, dang, can we say nothing? She was out there drinking and whatever. I'm like, dang, I'm like, okay. She was worse than the news. She sure knew everything I did, said, whatever was already reported back to her. I know, but like that's community. That's the thing that we need to build back. You know, I'm so used to that in a small town. Everybody knew everybody, and anything that happened, whatever your kid was doing, was already reported back. So by the time they got home, they got their butt whipped by the neighbor, everybody else on the way home.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, dang.
You know,
Yeah.
it took a village, you know, to
Yeah.
raise a child.
Hmm. That's
Indeed.
it. Really does take a village.
Yeah, village.
Now it's all child abuse. You can't even beat your kid now. You know, it's like, I mean, not beat like senseless. I
No.
mean, you
Yeah.
can't whoop your
Can't
kid
even-
and then
Yeah.
right away CPS. Oh, you can't be doing that. But I tell you, those little
Those little whoopings.
those little whips are the difference between fuck you, old man, or yes sir, no sir.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you learn respect real
I
quick.
got spankings as a kid and I'm fine.
Right?
Thug life. I got those welches and everything on my leg, but thug life too. I'm fine.
Right?
No, I mean certain kids, you know, like I can't say nothing because I had my, you know, for my parents or whatever. Certain kids, like they needed that extra, like, hey, ¿sabes qué? You think you're bad, palo, you know. But other
Right?
kids, I mean, you could just tell them something or give them that look, you know, that look like your mom looked at you in church.
Man, I knew I was gonna get
Damn, I'm
whooped.
gonna get it.
I was
You
like,
just look at, you know, yeah, I know we're not in church, but when we get home, it was just that. That's all you have to do is give them that.
Hey,
The
and have you
sunflower.
guys tried to change the subject? Any of you guys ever try to change the subject when your parents were looking at you? Like you're trying to you know what I mean? Be like, oh, look at the dog over there across the street.
Can it get this?
I used to do that all the time, but it never
Yeah,
worked.
get the chancla out.
the chancla, man. We had belts. Oh,
The switch.
hey, remember they told you to pick a switch off the tree?
Yeah,
You pick
the
smallest
switch.
one?
Yep.
You got whipped harder if I always did. I got whipped harder if I got the smallest one. Oh, you want to be funny, huh? Man, but no, it teaches respect, man. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
I mean, the Bible even
I do
mentions
agree.
that, you know, you want to talk about the Creator, and the Bible mentions not sparing not sparing the rod, and that's a 3-foot staff.
Yeah, exactly. God's like, whoop them.
Yeah, but oh, we lost Andy. Oh no.
Andy.
Anyways, yeah, you know, a lot of memories come back. You know, during the times when everybody was all choloed out and all that. All my sisters were all, you know, cholas with the bands and all that. And, you know, shit. I just remember teenager magazines and lowrider magazines all over the place. And then my brother had his, you know, his Ronfla parked outside, you know, and when he wasn't in prison. And then when he was in prison, I remember, and I wish I had all the letters he wrote us. He would draw artwork on the letters.
Ooh.
And you know, like the towers from San Quentin and all that. And man, I tell you, if I had that to frame and to show right now, people would be like, man, because my brother when he was in, he was real popular because he did the tattoos for everybody. So, but he would send like little soaps. Like they'd be like half naked girls and stuff, but I mean, just
those are the best though.
carving out. I wish I had all that. I wish I had the picture frames that were made out of the bubblegum wrappers and all that. You know, I remember all that. I remember getting all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the best. Chicano
They
art
can
right there.
handle
Chicano
when
art, man.
the guys,
Chicano prison art.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it shows you even when you're in.
and when they came home,
Huh?
and when they got out of the Pinta, you know, this is before the Vietnam War, right? Those were the veteranos who we respected, and they would keep kids in line. You know, there were some people who were shady, but there were people they learned in the Pinta. They learned maybe a trade, or they learned their art. They'd read and learned about our culture. They'd read George Jackson, maybe they'd they were influenced by Yo Soy Joaquin, and
Yeah.
when they got there, they would keep young people in line. But the thing is, after Vietnam, guys came back, but they were influenced by America too much.
Mhm.
True.
The veteranos who came out of the Pinta, they knew that they knew who the enemy was. But
Right.
a lot of the guys who came back and they had fought in Vietnam, they thought the enemy was communists or Russia or other Mexicanos. They wanted to be part of the American dream, and that's a nightmare for us.
Mhm.
Yeah. True. True.
Well, look at look at a lot of the Chicanos right now. Shit, a lot of them I seen just they weren't doing anything. Everybody's just living their American dream still. Like nothing's going on. And I mean,
Yeah.
especially in the beginning,
You're right,
the
yeah.
car clubs. I was like, you guys are still doing car clubs right now? Like, you guys are not saying anything about what's going on? Like, what's going on? And I don't know. I was just amazed. Like, you guys are too American now to care about your own people. Like, nobody could stand up and say anything.
Yeah. There you go.
You got all these
There
fucking
you go.
choloed out guys in their lowriders, but acting like they don't got no sense.
Right.
And let me tell you, I've been pretty embarrassed by the men lately. Especially in the lowrider community, because I've been recently just seeing them chilling and having a good time still while all this chaos is going on. So I reached out to a few of my friends and I was telling them like, hey, you guys, like, well, how come you guys haven't done anything, about the ICE raids and stuff like that? Like none of you guys are doing anything. Like, yeah, I know we're staying out of it right now, but I'm like, but why? Like, aren't you Chicano? Yeah, but but we're American, like what the that's why I'm like, I trip out. I trip out
Yeah.
like on a lot of people's reactions.
Yeah. We're American.
And I get it. I'm American too, but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch everything that's going on and to live our lives, just to live our normal daily lives. It's very hard for me. I don't understand how people don't understand if we continue to let this happen, it's just going to get worse. We already seen Americans being detained by ICE. We already multiple stories, and still not enough people are standing up. Look at the effing Dodger fans lately. They were all over there at the Dodger Stadium celebrating, their win and everything. All these people, don't hide your hat.
Nah.
I mean, it is what it is. But I'm just saying,
100%. That was stolen land. Yeah.
Stolen
Yes.
land. That was all. Yeah.
Absolutely. If that was land stolen, that was the oldest barrio in the city. And they stole that, and 100%.
But you have a lot of Chicanos out there, like they were out there celebrating, but not knowing history, not knowing what's going on now. And it's like, you guys look dumb as hell out there on the streets celebrating. You know what I mean? Like a billionaire corporation right now. You're celebrating their win and their win of ICE right now. You're supporting ICE right now, taking our people. Like, it's devastating to me. Especially in LA. I'm just like, what is wrong with all you guys?
Embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, and then you got a lot of people, I traveled this far to be here, 4 hours out of state. And it's like, for what? Why would you come and celebrate the Dodgers win? Why? It doesn't, I don't get it. I don't get how they're not mad. I don't get how people don't care. I don't get it. I don't get how they could stay the same. I don't get it. And I got people telling me, you don't even speak Spanish. Why do you care so much? Because it's inside of me. Whatever it is that's bothering me, it's inside. I don't have to like remind myself or think about it. Like, it's just in me. It bothers me. I'm human. To not care, like how do you keep living to not care? Like how do you not care? How do you go to sleep at night not caring about what's going on? But a lot of people out there don't care, you know. And a lot of my family were Trump supporters, you know. And it's awful. It's awful to grow up the same way. You know, a lot of them grew up the same way I did, had the same grandparents, the same tios and tias, and they got educated and they left, and you know they never looked back. You know, they're too Americanized. You know, like it's crazy. It's so crazy. I see my own family members, and I'm just how are you that way? I don't get it. You know?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it's like it's just their inner selves, right? They're just preoccupied what is affecting them now, and if it's not hurting me, I don't care. And that's that mentality that, you know, if you're not on top, you know, you're nobody, and so they're just doing their own thing and not caring about, well, you know, it's affecting Jose on this side or Maria on this side, or you know what from down the street, you know, and her family. It's not my family. I don't have to care, you know. Or it's not me. It's not affecting my dollar at the end of the day. And that's
Eh,
just being selfish
Right.
and not
And
thinking about all these people that you're talking about. Their family sacrificed for them to be here, just like your family did all the sacrifice because somebody in the line had to make that sacrifice.
Right.
Someone in your family made that sacrifice so you can be who you are today and be on this side of the line. You know,
Exactly.
and if it wasn't for that person's sacrifice and that person's struggle and that person's sweat and blood and tears and ganas to go out there and get it, you wouldn't be able to be lazy and be doing what you're doing now. Because that's just,
Exactly.
to me, that's just a mentality of laziness. You're just forgetting and choosing to forget all these sacrifices. So you can sit there on your couch and watch the game or do, you know, do whatever you're doing and not have a care in the world.
Right.
And that's just
And
I feel you with
that's
that one.
exactly what it is.
Mhm.
It's sports. It's everything that got us all like, well, we gotta tune into this. We gotta tune into that.
Yeah.
But we don't realize what that really is. You know, we don't realize that. Like I
Exactly.
gave up. I haven't watched football all season. I just because I was like, it's not. It's nothing I need right now. You know. So I baseball too. I was a big Dodger fan, and I completely gave that up because what I believe in more is more precious to me than any American football or any American baseball league. My people are way more precious to me, you know? And I feel like I just want everybody to be on the same page. I know that's never going to happen, but the more awareness we give out to people, hopefully, you know, it changes people's way of thinking, you know,
Exactly. So wake up.
wake up,
right, right.
wake
Yeah.
them sheep up. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm a lion. I need lions by my side.
Right.
And Arlene, just so you know, I heard you mention a couple of times that you don't speak Spanish. You know, that's okay because that wasn't our language either.
Right. And I think that's
You know,
why I reject
Yeah,
it too.
there you
I
go.
do I reject it
Yes,
because it's not even my
yes,
native language. So
it
yeah.
was Nawa,
there
or
you go.
we had
Nawa.
Nahua,
68
Nahua.
languages.
No.
But Nawa was a popular one that a lot of people know
Yeah,
and learn.
yeah.
And
You know?
that's somewhere because my family's from
Cortez
Michoacan.
spoke perfect Spanish.
Oh yeah,
It's
Yeah.
Castilian. Is
yeah.
the Spanish? It's that from over that way.
He was
I.
Portuguese, no?
Mhm. Yeah, I know. My dad knows some hidden language, right? Because I caught him. My dad's one of 14 kids. Okay, so when we used to go out to the ranch in Mexicali, my most of my relatives, they spoke Spanish, and that's what they speak. But it was one night we're all out there eating, we're chilling, and I caught on to the way my dad and my tío spoke to each other with my grandpa. It was a native tongue. And I was like, what's this? Like, how come you're not teaching me this? And they're all, no, this is only for men. This is only for men. This is the way the men speak. But yeah, the Spanish is not our language at all. It's another language there. And being Apache, I know there was something else. I was like, man, I still have to get my dad though to break down and teach it, because he knows it. He just doesn't speak it.
And I just recently found that out a few years ago, like, so it's sad. It's sad. That's why we have to teach our youth, a lot of these things, because, if I didn't wake up, I would have stayed. I would have stayed falling in the cracks, you know what I mean? And lost myself. And I was losing myself, because deep down, I knew this is not me. This is not me, And, but I know there's a lot of people that struggle, old and young, they struggle with themselves, because they don't know anything about themselves, and they're not healed. And so that's why they're struggling, and they continue to struggle. But I feel like the more you learn about yourself, the more you embrace yourself and you learn things and you help others with good intentions and a good heart, things just happen, and it's amazing.
Right. We lost Andy, but man, we already did an hour. Like, man, that was quick. But we're gonna there's Andy. Go ahead, Andy. Close us out.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully we'll get Mr. Soto over here. Appreciate all my sisters, my brothers here today for hanging out and having a conversation. But join us back again next Tuesday at 3:00, same time, if Carlos can get it together.
Right. Thank you, Al, for being on the show with us, man. I know you're a busy man out there in the town, and thank you for what you do out there, brother.
Thank you, Al.
Keep on representing. All right, and that's it, everybody. Same bad time, same bad channel next week.
For sure.